I'm just going to sit on a block in Virasana. You sit however you like. Good. Okay, so let's just welcome ourselves and we'll just give these hands a little movement. Start to regulate your breath. If you want to close your eyes, go ahead and do that. Let the shoulders drop. Just bring in your inner yogi into this moment. Good. And then we're going to rest these hands, one on the heart, one on the belly, or both on the heart, or one on the heart, one on the back, any place you need to put them. And then let your eyes close if they haven't, your chin slightly bow. And just sit in your quiet with your breath. Recommitting and rededicating yourself to your practice here at the very beginning. Just feeling into your own presence, your own purpose. This time of yoking together mind, body, breath, and spirit. Not thinking of the body as separate from the experience of the breath. It's even feeling how they start to link up when you're relaxed and paying attention. Keeping your hands as they are, bringing them together at your heart. And on the next inhalation, lengthening tall, anchor the sit bones. Lift yourself up. And exhale this breath. And we'll welcome ourselves to practice and chant Om 3 times. Let's begin with just a nice big inhale. And a full exhale through your mouth. And a full inhale. Smiling as you are. Release your hands to your thighs, lift your chin, and open your eyes. Okay, so let's start on our backs, and we'll just bring in the blanket roll for the spine. So your blanket, and then we'll just roll it up. You might even go 1/3 of the way, and then nice tight-ish roll. Okay, and then I'll put the seamed end away from me. Okay, and then if you need something more for your head, you just throw in another blanket. So I'll just sit behind this blanket, and you can be farther away if you need to, or right up close. Okay, and then I'm just going to place my hands and arch the back. So I'll start with the arch, and then you're just going to press the ribs back. So I'm not really going into big flexion. I'm just going to push the ribs back and let that slowly guide you back. So when I get about here, I'm still anchoring the ribs. The head comes down, and then you can grab this little tail and tuck it under for your head if that works. Arms out to the side or down lower if you need that. And then keep your knees bent. Okay, automatically, I press my feet on the floor. I just lift the tail and put it back down. See if that is helpful for you. Okay, we're just going to pigeon toe the feet and bring the knees towards each other for basic resting pose, leg shape. And then go ahead and close your eyes if you like. Soften your lower jaw. Just feeling your tongue as it rests in your mouth. Even feeling the root of the tongue. Just for the next few moments, see if you can let that root of your tongue soften towards the back of your throat. And just feeling into that, which is so natural. That might require a bit of conscious connection to that action. Let your eyes soften. Now just letting that ascension of your eyes, of the root of the tongue, just fall to maybe the top of your upper back spine area. And then just feeling your whole spine just relax in towards the blanket. So the only engagement you really need here is just to receive this gift of softening. Okay, and then just before we move on from here, I want you just to feel deeply into the right side, the left side, and notice if one side feels like a little heavier, maybe there's a little more discomfort there. And if you notice that, then just turn your head just slightly towards the lighter side. So even if you move your head like 2 millimeters towards, for me, it's to the left. And then again, just dropping in. Good. And then for the next few moments that we're here, staying with all of that, but just feeling the breath ride its way up and down, imagining maybe the inside of the spine, just feeling the breath, just lightly caressing, massaging, full length. Good. Okay. And then keeping your legs as they are, start to open your hands, stretch your fingers, stretch your arms. They might want to lift up off the floor a little bit, just as if someone's pulling gently on each wrist. And notice if maybe you lift your shoulders or the heart with that. Keep that, the tops of the points of the shoulders, the front of the shoulders still a little heavy. Good. Take one more breath. And then as you exhale, release your arms back down. Take 2 breaths here. Maybe it's an exhale through the mouth, like a ha. Okay. We're going to come off of this, and you can roll to the side. I'm going to peel up. So I'll start with the head. You might use your hands to just lift your chin up and then just peel yourself up. If you can go nice and slow, you might, oh, that feels good. Maybe do a little massage. Or just come back all the way up. And then once you're up, good. Let's just take that blanket roll. We'll go the long way this time. And so I have to re-roll mine. You might have to re-roll yours. Okay. And then once you have that, I'll just scooch up. This time, I put the tops of the shoulders. I hold the head. I use the feet. I'm going to lift the hips, slide myself over this blanket roll till the shoulders come down. Okay. And so this is too much, prop up under your hips and your head so you do less. But if you're good with a little bit of discomfort here, then we're good. And if you need less, your elbows can rest on the blanket. You can put your hands on your belly, and that might give you a little relief in the shoulders. Okay. So a little different angle. Adjust what you need. Good. I'm just feeling again here, okay, how can I use this the maximum way, even as I lie here and do nothing? It's all an internal release. Okay. So just feeling this. I'm just going to add one little thing that Judith Hansen Lassiter did in her workshop. So we always say palms up. Once the palms are up and the upper arms are kind of set, then she just turned the hands so you're on the baby finger edge. So I can't really see my hands, but they're like this, just to turn them so that the upper arms stay open, inner elbow stays open, and then you just turn the hands. So see how that is for you. If that's better, great. If you prefer palms up, great. It's going to be free to feel. Good. Okay, so I'm going to stay here. I'm just going to add windshield wiper with the knees. So walk the feet a little bit apart, and then just start to rock your knees side to side and go slow, because what we're doing is adding a little bit of pressure into each side of the shoulders that's resting on the blanket. So just nice and slow, and maybe smile so the body knows, oh, this is great. Okay, so at the same time as we're offering this little bit of movement, we're just bringing a little bit of more massage into the back of the lungs, back of the heart. And you can deepen it just by lifting that hip that's lifting. You lift it up a little higher, like we do. Good. Okay, so I'm just going to do maybe 2 more. And then I'll bring the feet back, so you take your time. Okay. And then just rest into this blanket. Little discomfort. If you're okay with it, we're okay. And you can bring the knees together, keep them apart. And then I'm just going to add that again into the hands. So we'll open the hands, spread the fingers, as if someone's pulling gently on each wrist, but without lifting the tops of the shoulders. Just kind of see if you can keep them down, even keep the heart space anchored into the blanket. And then we'll lift the arms up a little bit. This time we're going to fly. So I'll bring them up over my head as, best as you can. Maybe the palms cross, one hand over the other, and then you'll just sweep them down. And you let the palms turn as they need to. So if you are crossing, let's say I said palms, but maybe it's a wrist, one wrist on top of the other, just make sure you alternate. Okay, as I'm doing this, I'm still anchoring my heart space towards this blanket roll. Nice breathing, keep the fingers nice and open, tuck your chin a little bit if you can. Good. And I'm just gonna fly one more time up and down. Good, and then we'll just let the arms come back to rest. Okay, and we're gonna come off. So you can roll to one side, or maybe you just take your hands, lift your head, chin to the chest, and find your way up. Good. Okay. And then very quickly, we're going to take this blanket roll. You can put it under your head. You're just going to lie down now with nothing. So just so we can feel all that good work, put your hands wherever you like. I'm just putting mine on my tummy and just feel this. So I still have my knees bent. Just really want to be with this. Maybe you can even feel this whole length of your spine has had a nice little massage, and across the shoulders, a nice little massage. Everything feels a little grounded. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is bring both knees into the chest and just hug them in. So be very, gentle and loving here with whatever you need. And hold on to the knees or the backs of the thighs. I'm just rocking them in and out, moving with the breath. Good. You can let your tailbone move, whatever's happening here. Good. And then we're just going to settle with the knees in towards your chest. So whatever you need to do, friends, if you need the knees to go wide, you can keep them together, interlace your fingers, maybe opposite elbows. Tuck your chin a little bit so the chin's not poking up. We're going to think of the back of your neck long. And now just bring yourself back to all that work we've done already. Can I stay here in this very tight, constricted place? Soften my eyes. my shoulders, maybe the root of the tongue. Might be challenging. And softening through your glutes, your hip crease. Okay, so we're here for about another 5 breaths. So smile. Breathe nice. This is so good for our inner organs, hip flexors. So make this very tight ball. Okay, and then we'll gently release. I'm going to take the arms over the head, feet to the floor. If you want to stretch your legs out here, go ahead. Just take a nice big stretch. In your hands, spread your toes if you can. Okay, I'm going to bring the left knee into the chest. Interlace your fingers. Hug it in. If you need to bend the right leg, you do that. I'm just going to rock this left knee in and out a few times. Okay, then we're just going to hug this thigh in towards your belly so the hands can go down. You find your place. Let the shoulders drop. Press out through the right. If your right leg is straight, push out through the right heel. And see if you can spread the toes of both feet. And anchoring that right heel into the floor. And seeing if I can melt that right thigh back a little bit. One more breath. Good. And then we'll inhale, arms over the head, stretch the left leg out. Exhale, right knee in, arms up and over, and just find this on the second side. Oh, cute. Good. I say cute, we all, those of us I can see, we all moved at the same time. Good. And then just finding, a little bit of movement here, just massaging that inner hip crease, even this side of your belly, intestine, all that stuff. Good. Okay, and now I'm just going to hug this knee in, shin in, thigh in, and start to activate the left leg a little bit. I'm pushing out through the heel at the same time, spreading the toes, anchoring, breathing. Good. Notice your shoulders, your eyes. Just take one more moment here. And we'll release the same way. Arms overhead, legs extended, nice big inhale. Exhale, left knee in. Okay, hug it in, and then release. So now we're just going to move. So as you exhale, you bring the knee in. Maybe you pause here, full breath in, hug it in, and then exhale and release it. Okay, so just working at your own pace here. Just one at a time. Good. So whatever you're doing is good, and it's very consciously moving these legs, trying to stay as anchored as you can in your upper body. Good. Okay, I'm going to do one more on each side. So the left knee in, now I'm bringing the right knee in. Good. And then we'll just rest in the extended. Good. All right, we'll bend the knees, place the feet on the floor. Let's cross the left knee over the right knee. And then just be here for a moment. Let the left leg just kind of melt, like it might drop away. Good. Okay. I'm just going to anchor the right foot into the floor. I'm going to sneeze too. Hold on. Okay, so just by anchoring the right foot, I bring a little bit of balance into the hips. You might notice anything else happening. Good. We'll inhale and exhale. Bring the right thigh in for thread the needle. So be kind to yourself. If you need something under your head, you still have that blanket roll. You put that there. So your head isn't too unhappy, and then we'll just be here. So yogis, you know, you can bring this in, you can press it out, you can rock a little bit. We're here for about 5 breaths. So make it whatever you need. Feel in. Melt where you can. Soften your jaw. One more breath. Release your legs. Okay. There's a dog walker with like 10 dogs walking past. Put both feet on the floor. And then we'll just switch. So we'll bring the right ankle over the left knee. Arms, we did have the arms over the head for the first few moments. So you can bring them back over. A little flexion into your feet. And then just let the right knee do what it wants here. So you just let it be. Let it be. Okay, now I'm just going to add a little bit of pressure into the left foot. Without, I'm not trying to bring it anywhere else. Just really focus on the left foot. Just pressing a little bit more into the earth. And how that gently might bring in a little bit of rebalance. Okay, and then move into thread the needle on this side, whatever version. Flex your feet a little bit. And then notice, oh, this side feels very different than the other side. If that's the case for you, it is for me. So just explore in whatever way you need, keeping the face very relaxed, enjoying your own space of discomfort here, if that's the case. Nice, easy breathing. Good. And then we'll release this. Set the feet on the floor. I'm going to open the arms out to the side. And just come back to windshield wipers. So heel toe your feet apart and just do a couple of windshield wipers here. Yes. Good. Might even speed them up a little and just really loosen the back. Good. Okay. Let's just come back. We're going to do one more here as we are. I'm going to bring both knees into the chest. Now we're just going to do some egg beaters. So just find, you can put your hands wherever you like, or if you want to hold on to your knees and thighs, that's fine. Just find this little egg beater action. Keep your feet engaged. The hips are moving, and maybe you feel your back moving and wiggling, and just embrace all that is. Keep your breath even, and then reverse this egg beater action. So, just notice, I love this. I might even add the feet. I'm going to start to move the feet a little bit. So we're moving the ankle joints, the knee joints, the hip joints. Okay, I'm going to switch one more time and just do both sides again. Oh, I started adding the hands. It all just happens. And then switch again. Good. Okay. And then we'll just bring the knees in. Set the feet on the floor. Take a full breath in. Sigh it out. Oh my gosh, my back feels great. Okay. We're going to roll to the side and come up, or just pop yourself up, whichever one. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, friends, is with 2 blocks. And the blocks are going to go, maybe we'll all start on the lowest height, even if you're like, oh, I like the highest height. Let's start on the lowest height. So I'll have one block this way, and it's going to be for the upper back, and this one's going to be for the head. So I'm just going to leave it a little bit away. I'll pull it in. Okay, so we really want to hit, this part of your back where there's more bones. We don't want to go down here. So for ladies, it's easy because we can just kind of mark it at the end of the strap. So you just want to feel like, okay, I'm here, and then you can pull this one in for your head. And if you need it higher for your head, do that, because it's really just what we're doing is just taking that same shape we did with the blanket, but now we have the block. So the block will hold the bones in place and let everything else receive. So once you're in, arms are going to come out to the side. And if you want to turn your hands, so you're on the baby finger edge, that's fine. And a little discomfort, feel free to lift your hips or put a blanket under your hips if it's too much, do less. Okay, and then we're just going to find all of this softness once again here. So melting, through the eyes. Say soften the jaw, tongue, a little discomfort. You can breathe into it and release into it. Good. Okay, so we're going to add the arms again into this flying. So I'll start by just opening the hands, stretching the fingers, lift them up. Find some space in your fingers. Notice if when you do that, anything else is lifting, anchor back into the block in a nice way. And then whenever you're ready, take a nice inhale, take your arms maybe all the way up over your head and exhale and bring them down. Good. And so we'll just do this, if you're going to cross wrists, make sure you switch. Okay, so one thing here as you do this, once you're in this, notice if one arm is going a little faster than the other, and I just want you to just slow it down so you can get them to move at the same time. And the other thing that's always interesting to kind of notice is one of your hands softening a little bit. Like, so we're opening the fingers, spreading them wide. And sometimes one hand goes, I'm just not going to work that hard. So just feel, moving with your breath. Let's just do one more. And then we'll just rest, arms out, just take wherever, go back to your resting place here. Just one more full breath. And then we'll come out and again, roll to your side or grab your head, lift it. Roll yourself up and as quick as a cat, move the blocks and come back down just to feel, what you've done. It doesn't matter if I do this, it's the first time or the millionth time. It's always a profound experience. You have made change, there's change. Okay, I'm going to bring the knees into the chest one more time. Now we've anchored. You might notice, this feels even better than the last time, hopefully. I'm just holding them in. I'm going to change the interlace of the fingers. And breathe here. Just exactly as you are. Soften the shoulders, the jaw. Good. Okay. One more breath. All right, so I'm going to come up to sitting. I'm going to rock and roll. If that's no good for you, just roll to your side. But if you're good, I'll do it. I'm going to do it like 5 times probably on this nice spine. And try not to turn your head like I just did. Not that. Just do this. And then whenever you're ready, you'll just make your way to sitting and just take a moment in your sit. There might be some dizziness or any of that stuff. We've had 2 weeks off of yoga, so you never know. Just take a moment. Good. Okay, so I'm going to take my blocks, bring them in, and I'm going to start with forward fold. So that's a standing pose. So you take your time, and then I'm just going to bring it right in here. I'm holding the blocks. Put your feet. My feet are going to be a comfortable distance, maybe hip distance apart, and I put the blocks a little forward. And so I'm kind of in this half forward fold to start. So yeah, so you're just on your blocks. There you go. Right. All right, this is good. Let's do some cat-cow. So as I do this cat-cow, maybe I'll bend the knees, arch the back, look up, maybe straighten the legs as I tuck, but you might not. You might keep them bent the whole time, just articulating your spine. We did all this nice spinal love. Good. So I'll just do maybe, oh, so nice. One more. Good. And then we'll find neutral. I'm going to hang out in neutral for a moment. As best as you can, thinking I make my neck a little longer, anchor my hands so I'm feeling into the block. Take the belly in, and then send your tailbone back. So imagine your tailbone is just reaching behind you. Okay, feel into your feet. Maybe you lift your toes. And then exhale and fold. And you can keep your hands on the blocks or put them on the floor, or even if you like to grab opposite elbows, just let your head go. Okay, in this forward fold, just notice your feet. Maybe more at the heels or the front of the foot. And can you find balance? You might feel a nice stretch through the backs of the legs, a little discomfort. And one more breath. Good. I'm gonna put my hands back on the blocks and come back to this little shape here. Okay. I'm gonna bring the right foot into whatever I feel center is. So it's just coming in line with the left foot. And then I'll step the left foot forward. So I'll just pick up my block. It's not a big step. And then if you want to walk your blocks forward, go ahead. Yeah. Okay. Little bend in your knees if you need to, or straighten your legs. And I'm just going to pull that right hip forward, left hip back, and try and find this, halfway place we were in a moment ago. Press the thighs back. Feel into the balance of the feet, inner edges of the feet, outer edges of your feet. Good. Okay, so I'm pressing the thighs back, tail back, anchoring the hands. And then I'm going to fold down over this left leg. So just be very kind. Close your eyes if you need to, bend your knees if you need to, walk your blocks back, or put your hands on the floor. They might even want to go further in front of you. So just be very curious. Can I pull the right hip forward, left hip back? And then I have my hands in front. I'm just going to push as if I'm pushing the blocks forward. Your chin. Let's take 2 more breaths into your version of discomfort, or maybe you love this. Okay, and then make your way back. So walk your blocks back, and we're just going to step the left foot right beside the right, and then the right foot comes forward. And you, again, I'll put the blocks up on the highest height just to start in this version of almost a forward fold. So the legs are there. You need to walk your feet out. You need to bend your knees and then move the shoulders back. So you stay in this neutral, and I just pull the right hip back, left hip comes forward a little bit. And now I'm just really feeling into the feet. And I anchor the feet nicely balanced on the front and the back of the foot. Toes are light. And press the thighs back. I'm breathing into all this discomfort. Good, good, good. And now we'll fold forward. So you decide, blocks can stay where they are. They can go forward. They can go back. And I'm just, all those principles again, just bowing, feeling the feet, thighs, hips, everything as even as you can. Good. Just take one more breath. Okay. And then from here, I'm going to move to downward facing dog. I'm going to use the blocks. I'm going to put them on their lowest height. Put the heel of the hand at the edge of the blocks. Good. And then I'll just step the feet back for the DFD. So I'm using the blocks. Blocks are on the mat, so they're not going to go anywhere. I'm just going to push down and away. Put your feet at a comfortable distance, and then just look at your feet that they're parallel to each other, outer edges parallel. Press your thighs back. Breathe. Good. Okay. So now I'm going to bring the right foot into the center here, wherever center is. I'm going to step the left foot forward. So, do that however you need to. You find your way, or just good. And so now we're in lunge. I'm going to keep the right hand on the block. So you can put the block up higher if you like. And we'll just take the left arm up. We'll just open and breathe. Good. We're just taking a little twist here. Yes. Good. Power up your back leg. Pull that left hip back. One more breath. Good. Okay. Release. We're going to switch sides. So you can step forward or back. I'm going to do a little hop. Just for fun. Whatever works. And then we're in lunge again. Okay. Left hand stays on the block. Power up through your back leg. Reach the right arm up. And breathe here. Open that hand like when we were lying over the block. We made that arm super strong. I'm going to try and be here. Nice, easy breathing. Good. Okay, release your hand. I'm going to walk the hands to the center, moving to a wide-legged forward fold. So you bring your blocks, widen your feet or shorten your stance, whatever you need to do, but the feet are, they're like almost like pigeon-toed. I guess that's what it looks like if I look at myself here. Okay, now I'm just going to be in this halfway we did before. So you put your blocks, wherever you need, so you can be in this, what you feel is like, halfway. Lift my belly, press the inner thighs, the outer thighs, anchor through the feet, breathe, then push into your blocks, lift your heart, lift your belly. See if you can extend crown of head and tail in two directions. And then on your next exhalation, we'll fold. And you can put your blocks lower, or maybe the hands come in between or somewhere. You bow down, whatever works for you. My head touches the floor here. If that works, Ruby, you just tuck your chin. It's the beginning of pushing up into headstand here. Yep. One more breath. Good. Okay, now we're going to come up. So you'll just bring yourself back. Maybe use your blocks. We'll find that halfway. We're going to come all the way up. So if you need to narrow your stance, feel your feet are strong. Belly in, heart in, hands to your hips. And then you lift. Inhale, come up. Okay, stay as you are. I'm just going to turn the camera because I'm going to lift the arms up. So I have the legs wide. Arms are going to come up. I'm going to open the hands and the fingers. And just embody this. Maybe you look up so you feel the arms are stretching up and the legs are pressing down and you're breathing. Maybe you can take your belly in a little bit, tailbone drop. It's not tucking the tail, it's just dropping. Good. Okay, one more breath. Good. We're going to move to warrior two. So the arms are going to open out to the side. Now I'm going to turn my right foot straight out. And I take the left heel and pop it back a little bit. Inhale. Then on your exhale, bend into your knee. Okay, notice I'm not tilting forward. Good. We're going to inhale, reach up. And exhale. Yes. That's it. Find your joy. Good. Let's just do one more. I'm not going super fast. I'm going to come into warrior two and take it to Parsva. So the forearm comes here. You can put this hand on your hip. Open. Be here. You can look up. And if you feel ready, left arm comes up and alongside the ear. Okay, notice the right shoulder is still away. Reach. Press out. One more breath. And we're just going to go right to the other side. So we'll just come up. You start, turn your feet. So the right foot turns in a little bit, left foot turns straight out. Take a look at your feet, and I can't see mine. Good, and then when you're ready, it's an inhale, reach up. Exhale, warrior two. Your version, right? Inhale. So, maybe you lift the toes. I know Anne's doing that. Good, I'm gonna do two more. I'm just breathing. Here we are. And now we take it to Parsva. So the left forearm Right hand, gonna open here, maybe sink a little deeper, and then you take it over. You find your place, stretch, push it, like it's the same way you did with the blocks, you push into the forearm or into the thigh. Nice strong legs. Good. Good, and then we'll come all the way up. Good. Okay, I'm just gonna reach up here, and then exhale, take it back to forward fold. So I'll bring the hands to the hips. I'm actually pushing back as I come forward. Then you might find your blocks, find your, I'm gonna turn to the side here. Find your halfway. Yeah, so be in your halfway. So that's like, the head is lifting, the heart is lifting, the belly's lifting. Might be a lot of work, but be in your discomfort. And then exhale and fold. Whatever works here for you. I'm just gonna add a little twist. Okay, so I'm gonna take the left hand and just reach it all the way over to the right side. And it could be with a block or just onto the floor. The left hand can hold on to maybe the left ankle or stay on the floor. And I just lean to the left. I think I said that wrong. The left hand is over to the right and the right hand is on the right ankle. And feel free to bend your left knee or both knees. Breathe. And then just come back through center, switch. So the right arm moves over to the left side. Left hand can stay on the floor, on the block, onto your left ankle. And then just bend the right knee, lean a little bit towards the right. Breathe. Good. One more breath. Good. Okay, I'm gonna walk it back to the front. And then here, yogis, we're at the end of this standing part. So I'm gonna move into downward facing dog the way we did. If you wanna do child's pose, that is fine. Let's just take 5 breaths wherever you choose to be. Everything you have practiced in this practice and bring it into this. Good. Okay. If you're in downward dog, we'll just lower to the knees and sit. And if you're in child's pose, then bring yourself up to sit. Okay. All right. So Judith Hansen Lassiter, achy back, but then felt amazing pose. Okay. So you take your blanket, and so it's this shape, so sometimes we start with this and then just fold it in half. Then I'll put that one down. And she added a second one, exactly the same. And that's where some people got into, wasn't super happy. So if it's too much for 2, you'll just go to 1. Okay. And then, you have your blocks there. If you need support for your head, you can throw that in. I'll just set mine aside. Okay. So the way we did this is you sat, you came over, so that once you come down, my hips are just, or my tush is just a little bit above the floor. Okay, and so you just kind of wiggle yourself in. See how it goes. The other thing that might be helpful is to come in the way we did at the very beginning, is to just kind of press yourself back into this and then come in. Okay, now the knees stay bent, even if you like to straighten them. Feet are going to stay on the floor. And then your arms come out. Wow, I did a lot more prep work on the back and the spine. This was the very first pose she did, and it was very uncomfortable. Now I'm in it here, and I'm like, oh, well, this feels pretty great. So we've done a lot of stuff to prepare, so maybe you feel that too. In any case, we're here. Whatever your experience is your experience. Okay. Oh, the other thing she did was we did an eye pillow here too. So if you'd like to, add it, if it's not too far away, we could throw that in. And we're just going to rest here for another 3 minutes, just so you know. So nothing to do except, bring in all of your powers of release. If the head dropping back doesn't feel good for you, then please put something underneath your head. Okay, otherwise, just really sinking. everywhere you can. Just releasing anything you're still holding. Starting to deepen your breath. Soften through your glutes, your tush, your hips, hip crease, your low back. And then preparing to come out, just rolling to one side. And just rest on your side, just like we're coming out of Shavasana. Just take a few moments. Good. Okay, we'll just press ourselves up just enough to grab these props and just move them over to the right side. And then come back onto your back. Okay, we're going to take twists. So I put these blankets on the right side. So they're there if you like them to support yourself for twist. And just feel this. Maybe you want to hug your knees in for a moment just to and rock them. You might want to shake out the low back a little bit. Okay, so my knees are in the chest. Arms are going to come up to the side. And I'm going to drop both knees over to the right side. Maybe they rest on your blanket. I have mine on the blanket. And just, your shoulders, or maybe the right shoulder might lift a little bit just to twist your chest a little more to the left. And then you can turn your head if that doesn't need to be a big turn, but it can be if that works for you. And then just dropping into this twist. And the legs can stay bent. If you like to straighten your legs and hold your toes in this twist, then I just push this left hip away, even as I press the toes into the hands. You can do that, or just, we're at the end of practice, so stay with what is more gentle. Okay, just come back to this idea of the breath bathing inside of your spine. You might even tune into the revolving flow of your breath here. Let the breath be as full as you can. And really fill yourself up and also fully release. Good. Nice. Okay, and then preparing to switch sides. So maybe the feet stay on the floor, the knees come up, and If you use your props, you just throw them over to the second side. And whenever you're ready, just move yourself into your twist on the second side. Same thing, maybe the left shoulder lifts and you can spin the chest a little bit more to the right. And then be here. If you like to straighten your legs, let's just stay as you are. Just being very connected to the flow of your breath, massaging your inner body, working together, mind soft, but observant, present, thinking mind quiet. On your next inhale, finding your way back onto your back. And okay, so from here, friends, we're going to slip into Shavasana. If you want anything else, you want to put a block under your sacrum for a few moments, just take this upside down here. You will actually feel so good on the low back. So if you'd like to do that, put the block in, whichever height you like, under the sacrum. I'm going to let the tail kind of angle towards the knees, and the mid belly is just, gently dropping back. So feels very nice. Okay. And then whatever else you want to do, this is your sacred time before you move into Shavasana. Okay. And then just as you're fiddling, I'm just going to set up Shavasana with that blanket roll. I still have it. And I'm going to use that blanket roll just to support the Achilles. So I'll just put it down, and then I'll bring the bolster in for underneath the backs of the knees and a blanket for under the head. So take your time, and I'll set up slow. So if this is interesting to you, you can take that. 2. Oh. Shh. No. Oh, good girl. She's getting it. Okay, so then I'm here, and as you start when you're sitting, it's a little bit, you're nowhere near your Achilles, but when you lie down, they should hit nice and supported. So it's just a little lift, and then the support under the head, but it's really underneath the back of the shoulders. I'll just kind of upper back, and then you can roll it in if you like a little extra for your head. You might want a blanket. I don't know where you are. You might need one. And then the eye covering too, I kind of place it on the forehead more, and then it just lightly drapes over the eyes. So there's not really much weight on the eyes, mostly on the forehead. All right, friends, let's drop into our sacred rest. It's a great opportunity to practice equilibrium. Too much attachment or too much aversion. It's receiving this time of quiet. Nobody wants anything from you. You are here as yourself. Enter into your home, your space, your body, your breath, quiet of your mind, and the joy of your spirit. Staying as you are. Beginning to gently, lovingly deepen your breath. Resting for as long as you're able. We're beginning this gentle movement, rolling ankles, wrists, fingers, toes. And just following along the path of your awakening, nice and gently. And taking your time. As you come to rest on your side, just savor that for a few moments. If you're coming up to seated, just do that whenever you're ready. Take your time. And if you're going to stay in Shavasana, that's lovely too. So, all good. And once you do come upright, just take a few moments, just be in your stillness and to your feeling. And to your feeling, your sensory feelings, not, maybe emotional feelings too. All valid. When you're ready, on an inhalation, bringing your hands together at your heart. And as you exhale, bow your chin, deep reverence and honoring for the work you've done, the investment you made in your presence here. Your next inhale, anchor the sit bones, lengthen tall, lift your chin. Exhale this breath. We'll join together in our May We Be Blessed mantra. We'll seal that with an inhale. May we be blessed with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be healthy. And may we be happy. We'll inhale for Om. Bow your chin, Om Shanti, Om Peace, Om Namaste. Take a full breath in. Breathe into your hands. Catch that breath, lift your chin, open your eyes. Offer this to yourself and to each other. Mwah. Thank you guys. Thank you for being here, playing yoga with me. So much love. So see you guys on Friday, maybe. And if not, then we'll see you next class. Have a great week. Love you guys. Ciao, everybody.